Are you still letting people in, Julia? Okay,
Yes,
so I'll wait.
yes.
I'll wait just a moment.
Okay, Janet, it's slowed now.
Well, good evening from New Zealand. I see that there's a fellow New Zealander here who I meditated with not so very long ago. So it's lovely to see a very familiar face from across the world. Amazing. I would just say what a very special time it is for us to be together and to see so many familiar faces from across the world and to be so present with one another at Benedict's Well. Just a couple of things before I formally begin. There will not be a Benedict's Well next week. We call it Boxing Day in the UK, but I'm sure that with so many festivities going on, it is time to be present with our community at home where we live. So there will not be a Benedict's Well next week. And also, because this is such a special Benedict's Well, we may run over a little more than our usual 10 o'clock finish, 10 o'clock UK. So I will be very aware of time, but also aware of the need to share in our love and support of our Ukrainian brothers and sisters. So we may run over a little. And the other thing that I wanted to say in a moment, I'm going to invite all of us to say a common prayer. Usually we begin with a reading, but today I felt it would be appropriate for us all to share in the Lord's Prayer in our own language and together, unmuted. Now, it will be very noisy, but it will be quite meaningful, I think, recognizing just how many voices there are across the world sharing in that very special prayer. I think the other thing to say is that we are blessed with the community at Bonvo joining us, and Father Lawrence, who I will ask to say a few words at the end. And we have Father Jim in Dublin, Ireland, bringing together his parish and joining together in Benedict's Well. So welcome to everyone. So our opening prayer. O Lord, come to our assistance. O Lord, make haste to help us. Glory be to the Father, and to the Son, to the Holy Spirit, as it was in the beginning, is now, and forever. Amen. So let's unmute and let us say in our own tongue, our own language, the Lord's Prayer. Our Father,
Oče náš, ty jsi na nebesích, jde jméno tvoje, přijde tvoje království, bude vůle tvoje i na zemi. Dej nám dnes
power and the glory, ever and ever. Amen.
Amen. Amen. So let us prepare for our meditation together. Heavenly Father, open our hearts to the silent presence of the Spirit of your Son. Lead us into that mysterious silence where your love is revealed to all who call. Maranatha, come, Lord Jesus. Well, as I said at the beginning, this is a very special time together. And because we are very present with Marie and Albert, our coordinators from the Ukraine, I would ask, if possible, that you put your videos on so that they can see you as much as you are able to see them. I know that some of you have internet connections that are a little difficult, but if we could be present and to share in being together as physically as possible, I think the effort that Marie and Albert have made to be with us, the internet connection is clearly not good, and yet they've managed to find a way of, I don't know how they configure it, but anyway, they're very present with us, and it's a joy. So many of you will know of Marie and Albert and the work that they're doing in the Ukraine. Incredible work, offering light in a dark world through the work that they're doing with the meditation community. So Marie and Albert, I invite you to just share a few words, and it will be a combination of English and Ukrainian. So welcome, welcome.
Thank you.
Дякуємо, друзі, за запрошення.
Thank you a lot for your invitation.
Ми дуже раді сьогодні бути разом з вами.
And we are so glad today to be together with you.
Ми дуже любимо цю зустріч, хоча не завжди можемо бути присутні в понеділок зранку.
We really love this meeting, though it's not all the time possible to be present at Benedict's Well at this time, because it's Monday's morning.
Це початок робочого тижня.
It's the beginning of working week.
Але ми завжди дивимось записи цих зустрічей.
But we always look through the recordings of meetings.
Багатьох з вас дуже добре знаємо.
And we know many of you just visually, yeah.
Тож для нас сьогодні велика радість бути з вами.
So it's a great pleasure for us today to be together with you.
І мати можливість поділитися з вами нашими роздумами.
And have this possibility to share with you our thoughts. So let's begin. Now I'll say some words in English, and after this Albert will say some words in Ukrainian, and I'll translate him. So now we're going through the darkest period of the year. We are approaching the winter solstice, the astronomical period in the northern hemisphere when daylight hours reach their minimum. Almost all peoples inhabiting the northern hemisphere have seasonal holidays and rituals that mark this period. As a rule, these rituals are associated with the mysteries of light. People light fires, which symbolizes the victory of light over darkness, the new year of the old year, and ultimately life over death. Here in Ukraine, these days are celebrated in different ways by different ethnic and religious groups. For example, Western Rite Christians like Catholics and Protestants celebrate Christmas this week, and Eastern Rite Christians start a cycle of Christmas and New Year celebrations with the very popular feast of Saint Nicholas, which is today in Ukraine. And one of the most important symbol of Christmas is the Star of Bethlehem, dispelling darkness with its light. also in Ukraine now begins so-called Kolada. It's a pre-Christian ritual cycle dedicated to the birth of the new year and a new young deity. This holiday was subsequently adapted by Christianity, so traditional Kolada songs with Christianized text are still performed and very popular. And the Jewish communities of Ukraine celebrate Hanukkah, which is also associated with the idea of light. The ancient Jews who drove the invaders from their land saw that they had destroyed the temple, and there was very little oil left for the temple lamps. But a miracle happened. This oil burned for 8 whole days, and this time was just enough to make new oil. To commemorate this, the Jews light 1 candle every day for all 8 days of the celebration. It was this dark period of the year that the enemy chose to plunge us into even greater darkness, destroying the energy system of our country. Damage of the energy system causes a blackout, and even when the system is restored, a shortage remains, which is why planned and emergency blackouts are applied, and sometimes very many blackouts are applied even during 1 day or 1 week. But even in it, in this darkness, in this blackouts, we always have hope. And just imagine it, instantly, in a fraction of a second, big cities, million-plus cities, and entire regions are plunged into pitch darkness. But even in this darkness, there are always tiny points of light. And these points of light, they give us hope. Perhaps you will see in the window of the house opposite how someone has lit a Christmas or Hanukkah candlestick, and you can see this light in complete darkness. Or maybe someone is just walking down the street with a bright LED lantern. And it doesn't depend if this light has some religious or mystical sense, or maybe just light. It's very important for us now to see it. Now, all these mysteries of light have acquired a special meaning for us. We begin to appreciate even the slightest source of light that can dispel darkness. Just like the ancient Jews, we worry about whether this light will be enough for us. We share this light with others. And even when this outer light goes out, the inner light always continues to burn, and it cannot be extinguished. It is this light that we look into when we meditate.
Я трошки продовжу цю розмову.
I am going to continue this topic, this theme.
І давайте задамось таким питанням. Який ми можемо засвоїти урок?
And let us think about a question. What is the lesson for all of us in this situation?
Як мені здається, урок сьогоднішньої ситуації полягає в тому, що згасання зовнішнього світла може допомогти нам зосередитись на внутрішньому світлі.
As for me, this lesson of this situation for all of us is that when outer light goes out, we can concentrate on our inner light.
На світлі, яке принципово не може бути поглинутим зовнішньою темрявою.
On this light which cannot be destroyed by outer darkness.
Як ми з вами знаємо, кожна криза приховує в собі можливість всередині.
Every crisis holds an opportunity.
І ми можемо порівняти кризу з євангельським полем, в якому прихований скарб.
We can compare this crisis with the field, with the gospel evangelical field, where the treasure is hidden.
Це поле відкриває нам скарб, який лежить в його глибині.
This field will reveal the treasure that lies in its depth.
Тільки в тому випадку, якщо ми зможемо правильно подивитися, не затримуючи наш погляд на поверхні.
But only if we can look in correct way without stopping our eyes just on the surface.
І звідки ми беремо цей правильний погляд?
Where can we get this correct point of view?
Цей правильний погляд дарує нам наш шлях.
Our path gives us this correct view.
Цей шлях – це наша практика, це наша дисципліна.
And it's our practice and our discipline.
Зараз, коли життя наших українських міст занурюється в повну темряву блекауту,
Now when the life of our cities is plunging into complete darkness of the blackout,
найкраще, що ми можемо зробити, це просто зберігати стабільність і безмовність.
the best thing we can do is to maintain stability and silence.
Ми можемо зберігати вірність нашому шляху.
We can stay faithful to our path.
І сама по собі, я думаю, стабільність всього суспільства і кожної особистості, яка складає це суспільство,
And it is the stability of society and individuals of this society.
це та мета, в яку прагнуть влучити російські ракети.
It is the main aim that Russian missiles seeks to strike into.
Сенс в тому, що наша практика медитації, наша лекція,
The sense is our meditation and our lecture practice.
вся наша практика повинна продовжуватися, незважаючи ні на які перепони.
It should continue despite any obstacles.
Іноді ця практика може бути дуже слабкою, дуже недосконалою.
At times, the practice is quite weak and quite imperfect.
А часом навпаки, ця практика може бути дуже сильною і може приносити нам відчутну радість.
But at times, it gains strength and brings us tangible joy.
Але наша увага не повинна постійно оцінювати цю різницю між поганою практикою та доброю практикою.
But our attention should not all the time appreciate, compare this difference between good practice, bad practice.
Наша увага повинна просто продовжувати крокувати шляхом.
It should simply continue to follow the path.
Коли ми входимо в двері стабільності та безмовності, ми робимо наступний крок.
Entering the doors of stability and silence, we take the next step.
Ми уважно вслухаємося, ми практикуємо послух.
We carefully listen and we practice our
Послух,
obedience.
obedience. Ми утримуємо найтоншу нитку спокою.
We hold the thinnest thread of our stillness.
І останній крок, що веде нас до вічного, безперервного руху шляху,
And the last step leading us to the eternal movement of the path
це коли ми дозволяємо реальності змінювати себе.
is when they allow reality to change itself.
Коли ми перебуваємо в простоті потоку навернення в самих собі та навернення до інших.
When we are in the flow of simplicity and the flow of conversation and conversion.
І ми з вдячністю приймаємо оновлення нашої особистості,
and we gratefully accept the renewal of our personality,
оновлення, яке відбувається в цей темний і водночас освітлений зсередини час війни.
which has taken place in this dark, but at the same time still illuminated from within this tragic time of war.
І так ми плавно входимо у простір головної теми нашої спільноти на наступний 23-й рік.
And so we gradually enter in the space of the main theme of our community for the next year, 2023.
Ця тема метаноя.
And the theme is metanoia.
Ми просто дозволяємо собі змінюватись на краще.
We just allow ourselves to change for the better.
Подібно до того, як келер з бенедиктинського правила, ми бачимо, як всі звичайні речі навколо нас починають сяяти Божою присутністю, світлом Божої присутності.
And like a seller from the rule, we see that all ordinary things, deeds and tasks shine with the inner light of the divine presence.
І в кінці, після нашої практики, коли ми піднімаємось з подушки для медитації, закриваємо наш бревіарій,
And after our practice, when we getting up from our meditation cushion, and we closing our books for Lectio Divina,
ми йдемо на пошту та відправляємо нашим ближнім, яких в нас ціла країна,
we just go to the post office and send to our neighbors, and now we have a whole country of neighbors.
Ми відправляємо чергову коробку з ліхтариком, павербанком, ліками, їжею.
And we send them another box, and the next box with a flashlight, with a power bank, with food, with medicine.
І роблячи це, ми просто передаємо тим, хто потребує, втілений знак вашого співчуття.
And when we do this, we just pass on to those in need an embodied sign of your compassion.
Це ваше співчуття, дорогі друзі, і саме ви цим співчуттям складаєте нашу спільноту в усьому світі.
And it's your compassion, our dear friends, who are the part to our community around the world, and this compassion forms the community around the world.
Ми дуже дякуємо вам всім за підтримку.
We thank you for your support.
І саме ця підтримка стає світлом в цю темну мить нашої спільної з вами історії.
And your support, your compassion, your prayer has become a light in a dark moment of our common history.
Дякуємо, друзі, за вашу увагу.
Thank you for your attention.
That's an extraordinary reflection, and I do have a copy of a summary of that talk, which I think we can certainly share with all of those here whose first language is not English or Ukrainian. So I do have a summary of that. And I'm particularly aware of the Polish community who have joined us and just how much work is being done by Malvina and Anna and their team. So I've also had a message to say that Father Lawrence would like to say a few words in a moment, but if I could just ask either Malvina or Anka to just say a little bit about what you are offering on that special Sunday evening meditation. I don't know which one of you would like to say a few words. And if you'd like to say those words in English and Polish so that those members of your team will be able to hear as well. So is it going to be Malvina or Anna who's going to say something?
Good morning, everybody.
Хай, Мальвіна.
Hi, Malvina.
Hi. Hi. So we can say both, me and Anya. So I start that we meditate every Sunday evening from the end of February. And what is important in this meeting, that we are present with and we have a contact with Ukrainian community, because we meditate together, and it's near every meeting we have 1 or 2 members of Ukrainian group. So we are very happy that we can be together with you. And what we offer, we meditate together. The title, so the meeting is called Meditation for Peace, but we know that in meditation we don't pray for anybody, just we stay in silence and we try to Maria and Albert, they said about the light inside. So we can say that we try to open our space for peace inside. So to make peace, it's not only be against the war, but just to open your heart and to have more peace in your heart. So it's the idea of this meeting. And I think that it's to give a companion to the Ukrainian country, Ukrainian people, and to be present with them, and to say them every Sunday, we are here, we are with you. So I think that what can I say? So everybody are welcome, and maybe Anya wants to say something or to share her experience. And
thank you. For me, it's just an honor and joy to be a part of these meditations. I think what Malvina said, that meditation and being with is the most important part. And I have the feeling that both sides need this meditation. Ukrainians and also us too. For me personally, it's just one of the tiny things I can do. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Anna. And Father Lawrence, I can't see you on, but I know you're present. So you wanted to share your words.
Thanks, Janet, and thank you, Janet, and all of you who keep Benedict's Well. It's such a wonderful point of growth and friendship in the community. So all of us here in Bonvo have been listening to Albert and Maria, and I wanted to thank them for their beautiful words, especially that insight that it is compassion that creates community. And compassion flows out of our meditation, but it's the compassion which is the real force of peace that will eventually overcome. And I wanted to thank them for the wonderful example of stability and obedience, and obedience to the needs of others, and also their deep insight into why we meditate in times of conflict and violence. I also just wanted to thank them for saying that they'll be with us for the commemoration of Father John's anniversary on December the 30th at 12 o'clock French time. They'll be speaking at that. I invite you all to participate. It's in the weekly update and it's on the website. So there will be voices from meditators in different parts of the world, and also the voice of John Main, who will be playing one of the sports and then celebrating the Temple of Eucharist. That's on December the 30th. So on behalf of us all here, I wanted to wish you a very happy Christmas, and a peaceful one, and we pray for the miracle of peace to continue to unfold in the year ahead. I want to just also to ask Aniela, who is part of our community here in Bombo, she has been organizing some fundraising for all the people who come on retreats here. And that is what we've been able to send to the fund that Maria and Albert have set up. And Aniela is originally from Kazakhstan, who can say a word in Russian to you, but also say a word about what here in Bombo we and our visitors and guests have been able to do to express the deep solidarity, the deep unity we feel for you, Maria and Albert, personally, and also for everything, all that is happening in Ukraine. Here is Aniela.
Good morning, everybody. Мария, Альберт, добрый день.
Добрий день.
Здравствуйте.
I'll speak Russian.
Okay.
It's a good Russian.
So here in Bengal, with the participants of the John Main seminar, the Advent retreat and the Spanish retreat altogether, about 900 euros were raised, and we could already bought 30 power banks, 25 flash lights, and 20 headlights, and they will be shipped to you shortly. I understand Agnieszka Dudek, meditating from Krakow, has ordered them and received a part of the order. And as soon as she received the last parcel, she will ship it to you. And we are happy to contribute and add some light to the streets and to help with to charge your cell phones so people are connected not only in hearts but physically. In fact, what you do and what you show is much more important than we can do for you, because the spirit of the people of Ukraine gives us hope. Your true light, your resilience, your faith shows us who we really are. Show us the true human nature. And any words too pale and too shallow to thank you for that. And what we do is just a very small amount of gratitude and appreciation. Let me say a few words in Russian. Мария, Альберт, я очень рада вас приветствовать. Мы разговаривали с вами по телефону несколько раз. Но это очень маленькая доля того, что мы можем для вас сделать. Вы делаете для нас гораздо больше. Я не могу передать словами, что я чувствую, но я думаю, что это и не важно, что я чувствую на самом деле. Важно то, как вы себя чувствуете. важно то, что вы не одни, все сообщество с вами. И я бы очень хотела, чтобы вы это знали. What I said is just to let out that in Maria know that they are not alone. We're all together with you. And what you do every day, surviving in the darkness, is much more important than we can do. Thank you.
Спасибо большое.
you.
Мы очень рады видеть вас. Мы вас еще не видели, только слышали. И огромное спасибо за вашу поддержку. Агнешка мне написала, что в начале января будет кто-то ехать из Польши и привезет эти фонарики сюда. И мы очень благодарны. Это огромная поддержка. Thank you.
Well, it's a great news for everybody. In fact, we don't, we're trustful, but we trust in people more than we trust the post service. So somebody will bring those things, those items to Maria and Aldo in the beginning of January.
Thank you. Thank you for all of those at Bomvo. Wonderful. I'm just conscious of time, but I'm also aware that people are beginning to put things on the chat. Mary will be typing those up for you, Maria and Albert. So you will see all of those prayers and reflections. And perhaps there are just a couple more that we could invite reflections. I think that we may have Josefa with us from Venezuela, just very aware of one of the prayers that she sent to us. Josefa, are you able to say a few words? Are you still there? I can't see her. No. Well, Josefa sent a prayer to you, and I'll make sure that you have a copy of that. And I also am aware of, in the chat, Magda put something in, and I think maybe Magda, would you like to just say a few words reflecting on your experience? Just a few words.
Dear Maria and Albert, I talk to you with great love. I was a child in the Second World War, and so have experienced what you're experiencing now. And it is that which prepared me for listening to God, where I was guided by him, and ever since then have lived by his grace. And I remember the day when the light came back on. That was when my grandfather was found and walked into the room the same minute as the light went on. And this was so symbolic because he was the person in my life who gave me unconditional love for the rest of my life, and therefore prepared me for meditation and all we learned through meditation. And I feel you are that person in the Ukrainian community. And what you are doing is bringing that light, that inner light, to everybody and making it possible for them to experience.
Can I say a word?
Of course.
Ukrainians are to me Olympians. And you go through the pain, which is enormous. And the free world is with you and loves you. And at the end, history has shown evil and meanness loses at the end. And your gold medal will be that you will be free, and your neighbors will love you and appreciate you, what you did go through. And prayers and love is with you always, all around the world. And stillness and prayer will win at the end. God loves the Ukraine right now, and the free world loves you too. The pain is enormous. I went through the Second World War too, and prayer and God never left me since. I'm healthy, not wealthy, but love my wife and all nice people. God bless the Ukraine. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you for your kind words.
Thank you,
It's
thank
really
you.
touching. Thank you.
Yes,
Wonderful.
it's
Wonderful.
nice to are worldwide with you.
Mm. And I've been trying to catch up on all of the chats that are going there. And Malvina has put in her contact details if anyone wants to join the Polish community on a Sunday, 8 o'clock Polish time. I've just put it back up again, Malvina's email address. That's 8 o'clock Polish time every Sunday. And I know many of you do join that group already, but do spread the word. We are at our hour, and I know that there are so many of you that would like to share words with Maria and Albert, but I feel probably it's best that we just take a moment, just to take a moment and reflect on the words that we've heard from Maria and Albert, and also from, particularly I think from Magda, and both of them experiencing something very similar and calling you Olympians. A wonderful phrase. And Eileen, I'm very aware that you are very much at the forefront of Benedict's Well. We don't very often hear from you, but you are such an important part of this special gathering that we have, this sharing at the well. So Eileen, would you like to say a few words before we close with our Benedictine prayer?
Thank you, Janet. Thank you, everyone, for being here at Benedict's Well this morning, together during this 4th week of Advent, and here as a sign of our global support for Ukraine and the pain and suffering that they're going through at this time, and the words of wisdom that Maria and Albert have shared with us today, and that I have received in the prayers that I am collating, which will be available to share, will go on the website, and I hope that we'll use them for reflection in different ways throughout the coming year. Benedict's Well is a global, is an outreach of our Oblate community. Part of our call is to serve in the work of WCCM, and I can't think of a better way to close out the Benedict's Well sessions for 2022 than with this gathering this morning. So thank you all. Keep bless.
Thank you, Eileen. Thank you so much, everyone. And just before we end with our Benedictine prayer, I have asked Mary in a moment, just as we're leaving and saying farewell to one another, I've asked her to put up the prayers that we have received from the National Oblate Coordinators so that you can, we'll just keep it on the screen so that you can see all the prayers that have already come in, as well as those that are being shared in the chat and those that we've heard from. So we'll have that up on the screen as we wish one another well for this coming time of waiting and then being. May the divine assistance be always with us and with our absent brothers and sisters. Amen. So over to you, Julia, as we just see some of those prayers being offered.
Well, I'd just like to add my thanks to everyone who's taken part in this very, very special Benedict's Well this morning. It was wonderful. And normally I would be telling you who is coming next week, but of course, as you heard earlier, there is no Benedict's Well next week because it's Christmas time. So I would just like to wish you all a very, very blessed Christmas time, a peaceful and holy time. So God bless to you all. See you in the new year.
Much love to you all.
Thank you, Maria and Albert. Thank you, Janet. Thank you, Julia. Thank you, Father Lawrence and Wonful. Stay healthy, everyone.
Thank you.
See you.
Thank you, friends. Bye.
Take care.
Thank you. Merry Christmas to everyone.
Christmas, everyone. Blessed Christmas time.
Thank you.
Peace.
God bless.
Mm.
Дженет, Джулія, большое спасибо. Дуже дякуємо за зустріч.
Janet and Julia, Albert says he wants to thank you for this meeting.
Дуже багато, дуже багато підтримки.
And a lot of impressions, a lot of support.
Ми хотіли попросити вас, щоб ви нам передали текст чату.
Can you also pass us the text of this chat people wrote to us?
І цих молитв,
And these prayers. Can you send?
Хотіли би перевести це все українською.
We could translate it to Ukrainian and to Russian.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
So please send us all these prayers and all this chat text people wrote today. It's very beautiful words.
We will, well, I say we will, Mary and Julia will send you all the words. I think we have a very noisy person in the background.
I think I got them. I think I've saw. Yes. I think I got them.
But yes, we will send everything to you,
Yes.
and it will be a wonderful gift of how much love there is for you both. Mm.
So we want to say goodbye to all of you. We were so really glad to see and hear you. And thanks God, now we have electricity. That was possible to meet you.
Stay safe.
Yes.
Бажаємо всім вам гарних різдвяних вихідних.
And we wish you Merry Christmas, beautiful and happy Christmas holidays.
You can see that people don't want to leave. They've been reading all of the prayers, and but it is time. It is time for us to leave now. So much love to you all.
God bless.
God
Bye.
bless. God bless.
Right. Let's get this chat copied.
Blessing to all. Bye. Merry
Bye.
Christmas.
Bye.